Try this again. Take 2. I got up to here and then my tongue decided it didn't want to work properly. And after 3 times where I said the wrong team name, I went, we're going to have to do a second take. And it was a combination of team names, so it was extra special. Extra special. No, I don't have an outtakes reel. I don't. It's been suggested in the past, but I just prefer to just delete those off my hard drive altogether and just start fresh. It's better that way. Calgary in against Buffalo. That starts tonight. As you can see, I'm wearing a Flames jersey, which means I'm favoring the Flames in this one, but I really went back and forth. I debated about whether or not to wear the parlay jersey I have that's Flames, or whether or not to wear the Buffalo Sabres Black Accelerator jersey, because I wanted to wear something different today. So this is the one that I'm kind of on the fence with, but I thought, I'll take Calgary. Calgary's 11-12-4 over their last 10. They're 3-5-2, and their streak, they had an overtime loss in their last game against Pittsburgh. So, we're in Go Flames Go territory. Anyways, they've been having some troubles. Whereas Buffalo's 11-10-3 in their last 10, they're 2-7-1, and of course they're coming off that loss against Tampa, and we're waiting to see just how long Rasmus Dahlin may be out. It might be one of those concussions that in a week you're back, you're okay, and it's a concussion. So they're those mysterious things that we really can't stand as sports fans, and so Buffalo is definitely weakened right now, and Calgary's going to be looking to take advantage, but Calgary, their confidence can't be very high right now. And with what's gone on with Bill Peters, and we still haven't heard one way or the other what's going to happen, there's a lot of speculation that it's just a matter of when he gets fired, not if, because of all of the stuff that's come out and all the stuff that's been said. It's not just one thing now. It's going to be distracting to the players. Now, Calgary to this point of the season has been outscored 83-64. They've been outshot on average 31.8, 31.6. Buffalo, on the other hand, they've been outscored 72-68. And in shots, they've been outshot 32.1 to 30.8 overall. And Ralph Kruger, the last couple of games, you can see he's concerned and he's not quite sure exactly. At least that's the expression you get, is that he's not quite sure exactly what's happened to the team that started so well. And Phil Housley somewhere's going, yep. Hits. Lucic leads the Flames in hits with 70. Blocked shots. Giordano has 59. Matthew Tkachuk has 75. Goaltenders, I went with just save percentage today. And there's a reason, I was looking at overall goaltender stats, and I was like, wow, this guy has a goals against average that's like half a goal less than this one. But save percentage-wise, the guy with the high goals against average is actually putting up better save numbers. So that's why I just ignore goals against average. Riddick has a .912 save percentage. Talbot has an .893. On the Buffalo side, your hits leaders Ristolainen with 78. Blocked shots, McCabe with 41. And Skinner leads in shots with 86. Hutton has a .903 save percentage. Ullmark has a .915. So Ullmark's been the better goaltender. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I would be playing Ullmark as much as possible because I think he's the better goaltender, not as a way to slight Hutton. I think Hutton is a very good backup, and I think ideally he's a backup goaltender. I think that with starters, I think Ullmark's the one with the upside there, and I don't see that as much with Hutton. But we'll see how things go for them tonight. All right, moving along. Boston in against Ottawa. This is the dreaded trap game. Yeah, so I've got my Akbar magnet again for anybody who might be new. I've used these for a couple years. Just Admiral Akbar, and it says it's a trap. I guess I could call those the Akbar Memorial after Last Jedi and all that. But anyways, Boston 16-3-5. They played last night. They've won 4 in a row. They're 5-2-3 in their last 10. Yeah, they're due for a loss. And Ottawa, who have that 11-12-1 record, are 7-3 in their last 10, and they did lose their last game, and they've been very tough to play. That loss was a 1-0 loss in Columbus. Might put you to sleep, but they had a shot right until the end to tie it or win it. So for Ottawa, this is an important game. They can get back to 500, and for Boston, I could totally understand if coming off that 8-1 win over Montreal, if they have a bit of a letdown. So 91-57 is the score in Boston's favor in the games they've played. They've been outshot 32.2 to 31.6 on average. The Ottawa Senators have been outscored 71-65, which is way better than expected. They've been outshot 33.3 to 29.7. They do allow too many shots. Now, hits leader for Boston. Wagner was 65, blocked shots. McAvoy 45. Your shots leader is Pastrnak with 98. Now, goaltenders, Rask, 928 save percentage, Halak, 930 save percentage. They've both been pretty good for Boston. On the Ottawa side, Borowiecki leads in hits with 96. Block shots, Zaitsev, 56. Your shots leader is Brady Tkachuk with 92. So, Tkachuk, they both lead the team in shots. Nilsson, 928 save percentage. Anderson, 904. Anders Nilsson has been kind of a big deal for the Ottawa Senators, and we'll see if that continues tonight. Now, moving along. Toronto in against Detroit. Had to pause and block out the sun before it gets really obnoxious. But yeah, so Toronto's in against Detroit. The Leafs are 11-10-4. Over their last 10, they're 4-5-1. They've won 2 in a row. 25 games into the season, you're at a point where you realize it's about 30% of the way done, and you've got to get better. And I expect that tonight in Detroit. Detroit 7-16-3 over their last 10. Well, they've lost 4 in a row. They're 3-5-2 overall. We'll see which Red Wings show up tonight. This is, of course, a former Norris Division rivalry between the two teams. But for the Leafs, they can't take Detroit lightly, and I don't think they will. The difference in energy level with this team now under a new coach, even just in practices, is insane. I wouldn't be surprised if a Broadway show broke out during one of their practices. They seem so over-the-top happy right now. So, Toronto's been outscored 83-80 overall. They've been outshot 33.4 to 33 even, which means they're generating a lot of shots and allowing a lot of shots. And Leafs fans are going to go, well, yeah. On the Detroit front, they've been outscored 97-59. And Detroit fans will look at that and go, yeah, that's about right. And your shots, they've been outshot 31.8 to 29.2. And it's weird because we've gone through 4 teams so far and all of them have been outshot. Or 6 teams so far and they've all been outshot. We don't get to a team that outshoots the opposition for a while, which is weird. Now, hits leader, Jake Muzzin with 55 for Toronto. And they do need somebody who hits. And I know Kyle Dubas still says, no, we don't, sticks his fingers in his ear. But Kyle, you need guys who can go out there and physically punish the other team. You at least need somebody who can throw his weight around a little bit and put the other team off. And I don't think Muzzin's the guy. Blocked shots, CC has 50. Your shots leader's Austin Matthews with 91. Goaltending, Freddie Anderson, 916 save percentage. Kaskasuo, 842 save percentage. He won't be playing here, I don't think. Although, if he learns from Babcock, this might be a perfect spot to put the backup in. Because it's Detroit. And Detroit, a team that's struggling to score goals, yeah, throw in the backup. Give him some saves off of a team that they'll probably beat. Confidence is really important with a goaltender. That's a very, very important thing. Hits leader for Detroit, Ernie with 50. Blocked shots, Green has 36. Your shots leader's Anthony Mantha, who's out. 92 shots for him. He's out apparently a minimum of 2 weeks. Approximately 2 weeks. Both Bernier and Howard have 890 save percentages. That's not going to win you a whole lot. So, all right. And the last one on this board is St. Louis in against Tampa. This could be a huge game. For the Blues, they're 14-5-6. Over their last 10, they're 5-2-3. They had an overtime loss in their last game. Whereas Tampa's 12-7-2. In their last 10, they're 7-3, and they've won 3 in a row. So we're starting to see that consistency from Tampa. We're starting to see those results that we've been waiting for. And their record is pretty good. And with a win tonight, they would likely get closer to a playoff spot. I say likely because I'm thinking, well, who's got which wild card position? And I guess, the likelihood that one of those teams. So anyways, because they're trying to catch Philadelphia, they're trying to catch Pittsburgh, and then you look at what's been going on with Montreal and Florida, they don't look like they're uncatchable as well. So Tampa could find themselves as high as second within a week and a half here, and we could all be saying, what happened? Now, for scoring, St. Louis has outscored their opposition 74-66. They've been outshot 31-29 in their games. That's even. And on the Tampa Bay side, they've outscored their opposition 79-68. They've been outshot as well, 33.6 to 31.6. That's allowing too many shots. Tampa Bay's allowing more shots than Ottawa. That's not good enough. Now, hits. Sammy Blais, who I understand is out, he leads the St. Louis Blues in hits overall with 70. Blocked shots, Parayko has 39. Your shots leader is Pietrangelo with 68. Binnington has a .926 save percentage. Jake Allen has a .904 save percentage. He's been getting better. On the Tampa side, Chernak 57 hits. Well, he won't be in the lineup, so that takes down their physical game a little bit. McDonough, 47 blocks, and your shots leader is Shattenkirk with 53. Goaltenders, Vasilevsky has a .910 save percentage. His numbers have been coming up. McElhinney, a .911 save percentage. But this is where I looked at the numbers and I went, wow. McElhinney's allowing half a goal per game more than Vasilevsky. Well, what that tells me is because their save percentages are so close, they're allowing a lot more shots when McElhinney's in net. So it's small sample size and whatnot. I just figure you're better off going with save percentage than goals against average. But, yeah, so there you go. I now need to change boards. Carolina. So Carolina in against the Rangers, and there you can see there's 4 more games that all start at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Yeah, busy night for me. All 3 easels are going to be utilized today. So Carolina, 15-8-1 overall. The Rangers 11-9-2. But when we get into it, over their last 10, Carolina's 6-4. They've won 2 in a row. Whereas the Rangers are 6-3-1, and they've won 2 in a row. So when you look at their last 10, when you look at their last 2, these teams are very close to one another in terms of how they're doing. Now, overall numbers, scoring, Carolina 82-68 in their favor. The shots are in their favor, 33.8 to 28.4. It's a huge shots differential in their favor. The Rangers, they are being outscored 77-74. The shots, a huge differential against of 36.0 that they're allowing to 29.7 that they're getting. So I'll go out on a limb and say Carolina outshoots them tonight. I don't know how the scoring turns out, but I'll go ahead and say Carolina outshoots the Rangers. Your hits leaders, Stahl for Carolina with 53. Block shots, Slavin has 41. Shots, Hamilton has 82. Dougie Hamilton's having an amazing run this season. Save percentages, Mrazek has a .903, and Reimer, off that shutout, he has a .910 save percentage now on the season. And he's a very hot and cold goaltender. Now, on the Rangers side, Trouba leads them in hits with 64. He leads them in block shots with 45. Shots leaders, Panarin with 65. Save percentage, Lundqvist a .910 save percentage, Georgiev .903. So both teams have a goaltender with a .910 save percentage. Both teams have a goaltender with a .903 save percentage. It's one of those oddities. And Lundqvist is having a very good season. I would say of the 4 goaltenders up there, Lundqvist is having the best season of the 4. It just doesn't show because they're allowing so many shots. It's been kind of ridiculous watching some of these Rangers games, and yet they've won their last 2, so we'll see what happens tonight. I would imagine Carolina outshoots them 41-28, somewhere in that area, and who knows, maybe we see the Rangers pull out a 3-2 overtime win, something crazy like that. Just as a for instance. Vancouver in against Pittsburgh. This one makes me nervous. It really does. 12-9-4 Vancouver. Over their last 10, they're 3-6-1. They're coming off that loss in Philadelphia. And remember, East Coast swings, not their friends most times. And for Pittsburgh, they're 13-7-4. Over their last 10, they're 5-2-3. And they've won 2 in a row. So Pittsburgh is playing better right now than Vancouver. And when you look at the scoring, well, Vancouver's outscored their opponents, not by as much as they had during the early part of the season. 76-70 now. They are ahead in the shots department, 32.4 to 31.4, but that number's been evening up as well as the season's gone along. Pittsburgh, 80-62 is the scoring. The shots, 34.6 to 29.8 in their favor. So it looks like Pittsburgh and Carolina might be the best teams in the league when it comes to the shot differential part of things. Hits, Edler leads with 45. Block shots, Edler again, 72. Shots overall, Besser has 74. Save percentages, Markstrom 913 and Demko has a 919. I had to fix that. Your hits leader for Pittsburgh, Tanev with 93. Blocked shots, Pettersson, Marcus Pettersson with 27. And your shots leader, Gensel with 82. Now goals against, save percentages, Murray has a 907. Jarry a 945. At what point does Tristan Jarry start stealing starts from Matt Murray? This is a conversation we have every year with Matt Murray. Every year I've done a video on Matt Murray losing starts and is he going to end up being the backup? I'm not doing that right now, but at some point we're going to do a video on how backups have outperformed starters in certain locations. And right now Jarry would be one of those guys. So we'll see how it goes tonight. But again, as a Vancouver fan, this makes me nervous because Pittsburgh, it doesn't matter if they have Crosby or not. It doesn't matter if they have players or not. Vancouver and Pittsburgh is going to make me concerned. Especially with the way Vancouver's been playing lately. All right. Moving along. Florida's in Washington. This could be a high-scoring game. Absolutely. 12-7-5 Florida. Over their last 10, they're 5-4-1. They've lost in regulation back-to-back for the first time this season. So they should come out with something to prove. Whereas the Washington Capitals, who are 16-4-5, they're 6-2-2 in their last 10. They're coming off of that shootout loss against Vancouver. So Washington's had some time to think about that. Now, the Florida Panthers have been outscored 86-85, and this kind of speaks to why they've been slow to rise up through the ranks on the power rankings chart, in that they don't win convincingly very often. There's a lot of overtime and a lot of shootouts. They're outshooting the opposition, however, 33.9 to 31.0. So the fact they're outshooting the opposition like this and the scoring is still in the negative for them tells you goaltending's probably been an issue for them, which it kind of sort of has. Now, the Capitals are outscoring the opposition 88-73, and shots differential, they're ahead 31.8 to 31.4 on average. Your hits leader, Achari, 34 for Florida. They had Dryden Hunt as number one. Dryden Hunt got waived last week, so I'm thinking, I don't even know if he's still with Lennep. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I'll throw Achari on the board, because Achari can throw hits. Block shots, Strawman with 35. Shots leader is Hoffman with 71. Bobrovsky, an 888 save percentage. Montembeault, an 889 save percentage. Two different goaltenders than they had last year, and yet the save percentage is right around the same. Now, Washington, 94 hits to Tom Wilson. He's your leader. Block shots, Siegenthaler with 47. That's kind of a bit of a surprise to me that Siegenthaler's number one. Shots leader is, of course, Ovechkin with 119. If it was anybody but Ovechkin, we'd be asking how long has he been injured? Is he okay? Or who's making sure he's not allowed to take shots? Because he is the shots leader no matter what. Holtby has a 908 save percentage. Samsonov has a 912. Holtby's save percentage started out as basically a disaster this season. It's been picking it up as it goes along. And maybe part of that is because he knows his contract's up this summer. So you've got to make that cash, especially when you look across the ice and you see what Bobrovsky's making. Yeah, so look for a good second half of the season from Holtby's kind of the message I'm throwing out there. Next up, Philadelphia is in against Columbus. So this is an interesting one in that Columbus is trying to get back into the race, and if they beat the Flyers, depending on what other teams do, it gets them back in there. The Flyers are 12-7-5. Over their last 10, they're 5-2-3, and they won their last game. Now, Columbus is 10-9-4. Over their last 10, they're 5-4-1, and they won their last game. Notice all these teams that are 5-2-3 or 5-4-1. This is why if a team falls behind in October, it's really hard to catch up, because you're waiting for somebody else to cool off. Now, scoring-wise, Philadelphia has outscored the opposition 69-67, and shots, it's not even close. They've outshot the opposition 33.7 to 28.6. So again, with the scoring being that close and the shots not being that close, it tells you they're probably having problems with goaltending at times. And yes, they absolutely are. Now, goals differential here, it's the opposite story. So 72 to 59, they've been outscored. They're outshooting the opposition 33.1 to 30.2. Now, what's weird is they've scored 13 less goals, but I don't know how much of that I'd put on the goaltending. Columbus fans will tell you they don't put it on the goaltending at all. They just would point out that they're not scoring goals enough. Now, hits leader for Philadelphia's Niskanen with 46, which seems low compared to other teams when you think about the Broad Street Bullies and all that. But the Flyers haven't been that team for a while. Provorov leads in block shots with 39, and Giroux leads in shots with 82. Hart, 900 save percentage even. He has been better than that. He has been much worse than that. Elliott, 913 save percentage overall. Hits leader for Columbus, Foligno with 59 block shots. Seth Jones has 53 shots. Atkinson with 80. Korpisalo leads in he leads him in save percentage with 902. Merzlikins, 890 save percentage. That last game really hurt Merzlikins and hurt his cause that he wanted more starts and chance, and that last game really didn't help him. And for Korpisalo, it's been an up and down season, but he's coming off of a shutout, and we'll see whether or not he's able to build on that tonight against the Flyers, and if Columbus can make some of those ugly numbers look not quite as ugly as they have. That being said, I now need to change boards. All right, Vegas in against Nashville, and we finally get a game that doesn't start at 4 o'clock. No, this one starts at 5. And then the next one starts at 6:30, and then we get some later starts too. So, strange. But tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the U.S., so that's why we've got so many games on today. Now, Vegas is 11-11-4. Vegas fans will tell you they're not playing very well. Over their last 10, they're 2-6-2. They've lost their last 2 in a row. Whereas Nashville, they're 11-9-3. Over their last 10, they're 3-6-1. But they've won 2 in a row against the hated Blues. So now they're looking to build some momentum, and they're at home. And for Vegas, this could be a pretty bad scenario for them. The Vegas Golden Knights have actually been outscored 77-75. This is despite them outshooting their opposition by an average of 33.6 to 31.5. So again, if a team's being outscored and they're generating more shots, either they're not generating enough shots from the right spot on the ice, or their goaltending has let them down. Yeah, so on the Nashville side, they're outscoring the opposition 80-76, which is close considering they've outshot their opposition 34.5 to 28.6 on average. Nashville's putting up a ton of shots in every game, so I'm anticipating that they'll outshoot Vegas, but this game could be one with a ton of goals in it. It really could. Now, the hits leader is, of course, Ryan Reeves with 130. You kidding me? Block shots, England with 43. And your shots leaders, Pacioretty with 100 for Vegas. Marc-Andre Fleury, 919 save percentage. That's very good. Is it up to his usual standard? Probably not. Now, Subban, who is a lightning rod for the fan base, 883 save percentage. I won't put losses on him when the team can't score goals. So that's really kind of been a problem. Now on the Nashville side, Watson leads them in hits with 52 block shots. Ellis with 43. Your shots leaders, Yossi with 80. Goaltending is a huge problem right now. Rinne, 889 save percentage. I did a double take when I saw that. Saros, 894 save percentage. So those are not good enough. That's not even playoff level, much less doing anything in the playoffs. So they need to turn that around, and they're against a team that's been having trouble keeping the puck out of their own net. Like I said, this one to me looks like one that's going to have a ton of goals in it. Usually when I say that, they don't. But anyways, moving along. Anaheim's in Arizona. This one starts at 6:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern, which is nice. It means that it'll be starting after the other games have ended or are ending, so I should be able to pay a lot of attention to the later games as a result of the early starts. But the early starts all being at the same time means the amount of notes I'm going to be able to do on some of those early games would be very minimal. Now, Anaheim's 11-11-3. Over their last 10, they're 2-5-3, but they did win their last game. And it was against the Islanders, so it wasn't some nobody here either. On the Arizona side, they're 14-8-3 in their last 10. They're 5-4-1, and they're coming off of an overtime loss. So things for them. We'll see. We'll see what happens with them tonight. Scoring. Well, Anaheim's been outscored 75-68, and they've been getting outshot 32.2 to 29.1 on average. Arizona, they're outscoring the opponents 68 to 57. They've been getting outshot 32.4 to 30.1. So Again, these are two teams up against each other that have been getting outshot. Hits leader, Rowney, 72 for the Ducks. Holzer, 59 blocks, or 49 block shots, I should say. And your shots leader is Raquel with 77. Gibson, a 912 save percentage. He would tell you that's not good enough. Miller, 899 save percentage. Just shocking the last few games for Miller that his save percentage has dropped as far as it has. On the Arizona side, Lawson Krause with 61 hits leads the team there. Blocked shots. Goligoski has 54. Shots leader is Keller with 66. Save percentages, Kemper, 934. Ronta, 926. This is an excellent opportunity for the Anaheim Ducks. And I'm just saying opportunity because Arizona's been playing pretty well, and Anaheim hasn't for the most part, but this is a chance to show that win over the Islanders, they can do that again, get back above that dreaded 500 mark, and start making some waves in a Western Conference that it really does look like one mediocre record could get you into the playoffs this year. Where we had last year that the Colorado Avalanche, who didn't have a good record overall, they had only 39 wins, ended up making the playoffs because the West was like that, where a mediocre team could get in. That could happen this year as well. So there is still something to play for some of these teams. And get on a hot streak. Get something going. I'm talking to Vegas. I'm talking to Nashville. I'm talking to Anaheim. 3 teams in particular. 2 that were in the playoffs last year and look like they should be again this year. And Anaheim, who weren't in the playoffs last year, but there's no reason they can't bounce back. So Arizona, they're going to look to keep everybody's dreams and hopes dashed with a win tonight. All right, next up, starting at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, the Oilers will be in Colorado. This might be the most fun game of the night. I don't know about scoring. I don't know who's going to win. I don't even really care. I think this could be the most fun game of the night. 16-7-3 Oilers over their last 10. 6-3-1. They've won 2 in a row, which any Oilers fan will tell you whether you solicit it or not. On the Colorado side, they're 13-8-2 over their last 10. Well, they've lost 2 in a row, but they're 5-5. And any Colorado fan will say, that's without Rantanen, that's without Landeskog. Seriously. I just wanted my food. I'm not giving... You admit that Colorado's doing well without their players. Now, all bad kidding aside, both teams are outscoring their opposition. The Oilers 83-72, but they've been outshot 30.7 to 29.2 on average. The Colorado Avalanche, they've outscored their opposition 81-69. They've been getting outshot 33-32 on average. It's not a huge differential. And I would think with them having 32 shots per game, they probably outshoot the Oilers tonight. They're at home too. Hits leader, Cassian, 80. Zach Cassian's having an amazing season for the Edmonton Oilers. This is the player that Vancouver believed they had. This is the player that was traded for by Mike Gillis. This is the guy who was supposed to be that winger for the Sedins. And he would show flashes of this, but he couldn't maintain it. This year he's maintaining it, and it's been quite the story. Clefbaum leads the team in blocks with 80. Shots leader is McDavid with 90. Koskinen, 920 save percentage. Mike Smith has a 911 save percentage. I think both goaltenders have played well. Yeah, Smith's had a couple of iffy games here and there, but at his age that'll happen. He's also shown the propensity for bouncing back. On the Colorado side, Zadorov leads the team in hits with 50, which is impressive considering he missed time. Graves, 49 blocked shots. And your shots leader is McKinnon with 110, which is ridiculous. That's almost Ovechkin level. And then save percentages, Grubauer has a 910. Could be higher. And Francouz has a 920. So again, really similar save percentages between these two teams and the goaltenders that are on them. And we'll see how that goes tonight, where I would favor Colorado in this matchup, but just barely. I think this is going to be a fun game, and we'll see whether or not the Avs are able to beat the Oilers. Again, I think this can end up being game of the night material. All right, moving along. Islanders in against LA. The Islanders coming off of a regulation loss, the first one they've had in over a month. They're still going to play this game. They're not going to declare that they're too upset to play. 16-4-2 Islanders. Over their last 10, they're 7-1-2, and the one in there, that was their most recent game against the Ducks. The LA Kings, 9-13-2. Over their last 10, they're 4-4-2, and they lost their last game in overtime. The Kings, it's a matter of winning at home, and then when they get out on the road, they have to find a way to even their road record and the consistency. Consistency's been a big issue for the Kings. Now, scoring-wise, the Islanders are outscoring their opposition 66-54. Shots, they're being outshot 30.8 to 28.5, and every Islanders fan will tell you that doesn't matter. On the LA side, they're being outscored 83-63, and then what's more upsetting is they're outshooting the opposition an average of 35.0 to 28.6. So that's where it gets upsetting, is that they've outshot the opposition almost all year, and yet the goaltending numbers tell you why it hasn't worked out for them. Hits leaders. Clutterbuck, 77 for the Islanders. Blocked shots, Pelech with 56. Nelson has 68 shots to lead the Islanders, who do score by committee. Save percentages. Grace with a .930 save percentage. Varlamov a .913. So Grace has been the better goaltender of the two. Hits. There's a tie for the lead with the LA Kings. Doughty with 55. Brown also has 55. Blocked shots, Martinez with 56. He won't be in the lineup tonight. Shots leader is Carter with 77. Save percentages, Quick, 881. Campbell, 886. Neither of those are good enough. And I understand Quick's been getting better, but the miserable start to the season is part of the reason why the numbers overall for the Kings are as ugly as they are. That being said, I have to change boards again. All right, now, this one and the game that I just previewed, the LA game, they both start at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, so it could be a nice late night for everybody. San Jose is at home against the Winnipeg Jets. Now, the Jets are 14-9-1. Over their last 10, they're 7-2-1. They won their last game. The Jets, things are going really well for them, and we'll see if they can keep that up. And against San Jose, things are going really well for San Jose as well. They're 13-11-1 now. In their last 10, they're 9-1. They've won 3 in a row. So for San Jose, things are getting better, and they've dug their way out of the mess they created at the start of the season, and they are currently in the playoffs as the number 2 wild card in the West, and as a team that would play Edmonton in the first round, and every fandom would love to see that matchup, especially I would think San Jose and Edmonton fans would love that. That being said, tonight it's Winnipeg against San Jose, and Winnipeg would play Dallas under the current matchups that we see on the board. Now, Winnipeg is being outscored 72-66. In shots, they're being outshot 33.5 to 32.2 on average. Whereas San Jose, they're being outscored 83-71 for the season. They're being outshot 30.2 to 29 even on the season. Hits, Lowry has 60 to lead the Jets. Kulikov, 35 block shots. Shots leader is Kyle Connor with 86. Save percentage is Hellebuck, 928 save percentage. Brossoit with a woeful 876. On the San Jose side of things, Brendan Dillon leads that team in hits with 77. Block shots, Erik Karlsson with 40. Shots leader is Evander Kane with 80. Jones has an 891 save percentage. Dell has an 897. I would love to see a 900 next to one of these goaltenders' names. I'm not thinking it's going to get closer coming out against Winnipeg, because Winnipeg, pretty good at scoring goals, pretty good team overall, and they're a team that's been generating a lot of good opportunities for everybody. The interesting thing for me with the Jets is this. So they're 14-9-1, they're 7-2-1 in their last 10. They're doing this while Laine's been pretty quiet. Patrick Laine, for the most part, has been a quiet entity for them. If he ever starts scoring goals the way that he really wants to, and he's taking a lot of shots, if he starts putting some of those in the net, we could be talking about the Winnipeg Jets as potentially knocking the Blues down, knocking the Stars down, and being the best team in the Central. That could very well end up happening. But I'd be interested to know what you guys think about tonight's matchups, winners, and all that other wonderful stuff. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing right through. You just tapping upon this video. There will be news today, but for this morning, I've done the preview of all 13 games. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support, and I will talk to you again soon.